after our victory, which is inevitable for me, and with the support of the West, where the UK shows leadership, the question will be how to rebuild the country. The country is devastated. What I have seen personally, Chernihiv, Kharkiv, Mariupol, 500,000 population city just destroyed. And who should pay for this? And I think it's not British taxpayers who should pay for this, but Russians, Russian oligarchs, all those around Putin with their dirty money. And a lot of this money, billions and billions of pounds, are in the United Kingdom. So the idea is that all of this should be frozen and confiscated in favor of Ukraine, including like an example, Chelsea sale and Abramovich case and things like this. Do you support it, and what else will the UK government will do in this area? Good morning. Thank you for invitation.
It's a great pleasure. You're in the UK to meet with politicians to lobby for greater support for Ukraine. How's it going? How are the conversations going?
Inspiring. Just our requests are simple and clear. First, we need to win, and for this we need weapons, and again weapons. And that is extremely important today. We are kicking off Russians on the land. We are holding the ground on the sea, especially after sunken down of Russian missile cruiser Moskva, which is now a submarine. And but we have one problematic point. It's in air. Russians still have advantage there. And I hope that with new weapons from the West, air defense aircraft, we can change this situation. And like Churchill said, give us the tools and we'll finish the work.
Do you feel confident, despite Mariupol now being very close to falling? Was that a victory of sorts that lasted so long?
It's a pure victory for Russians. More than 10 weeks of siege when they just couldn't take the city and they just destroyed it to rubbles. It disappeared. And our guys in Azovstal, defenders of Mariupol, and guys and girls, they're absolutely heroes, and we are absolutely proud of them. So that is not the victory for Russians, just to destroy completely the city after 10 weeks of siege. But definitely now we need to do everything possible to save our fighters and to take them back home safe.
Are you worried about them?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Russians do not respect any rules of war. And they showed it for the whole world with all these awful atrocities they committed against even civilians, not speaking about military, about combatants. So we are very much worried, and we hope here also for the help of the whole world, free world, to save them. Because I think today the heart of the free world is beaten in Azovstal.
We're very grateful to you because you've agreed to speak with the Ukrainian MP Oleksiy Goncharenko, who is visiting the UK right now. He's in the studio with us.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank the UK government and you personally for all support we are receiving. That is very important for us. And my first question is next. Recently, Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, which I have an honor to be a member of, adopted a resolution addressing to all member states of the Council of Europe, including the United Kingdom, about creation of International Criminal Tribunal against political and military leadership of Russia, including Putin, for the crime of war of aggression against Ukraine. My question is, will the United Kingdom support this proposition and take part in work of this tribunal?
Well, we are very clear that Putin and all of those who've been behind the appalling war crimes that are being committed in Ukraine need to be held to account. And we're working very closely with the ICC. We've sent support into Ukraine to help collect evidence, from witness statements to video evidence. I've talked to the Ukrainian government about this idea of a tribunal. We are open to the idea of a tribunal. We're currently considering it. But what we want is the most effective way of prosecuting those people who've committed these appalling war crimes, including rape, sexual violence, the indiscriminate targeting of civilians. But if the tribunal will help to do that, then the UK is definitely considering supporting it.
Thank you. And also, after our victory, which is inevitable for me, and with the support of the West, where the UK shows leadership, the question will be how to rebuild the country. The country is devastated. What I have seen personally, Chernihiv, Kharkiv, Mariupol, 500,000 population city just destroyed. And who should pay for this? And I think it's not British taxpayers who should pay for this, but Russians, Russian oligarchs, all those around Putin with their dirty money. And a lot of this money, billions and billions of pounds, are in the United Kingdom. So the idea is that all of this should be frozen and confiscated in favor of Ukraine, including, like an example, Chelsea sale and Abramovich case and things like this. Do you support it, and what else will the UK government will do in this area?
Well, you're absolutely right. We need a new Marshall Plan to rebuild Ukraine, and in fact, we've just been discussing this at the G7 meeting that I had with my colleagues from around the world. We are looking at what we can do to use Russian assets to help pay for this. It will also, in my view, need wider contributions too, and it's vitally important. Ukraine has been on the front line, not just fighting for your country in an incredibly brave way, but also standing up for freedom and democracy and European security. So we will, of course, work to make sure that Russia has to contribute to the rebuilding of Ukraine. But we will also look at what else can be done. The vitally important point is that Ukraine is rebuilt after the appalling devastation that's been visited on the country.
Thank you very much. If I have a possibility to ask one more question, it's just
one
about
very quick one, yeah.
very quick one about Azovstal and Mariupol defenders. We very much hope that the UK and free world will help us to save them in negotiations with Russia to take them back home in safety. Thank you.
Okay. Liz Truss, thank you very, very much for
Thank you.
contributing to that conversation. That's Liz Truss, the Foreign Secretary, and we have Oleksiy Goncharenko, Ukrainian MP, with us. So is that the first time that you've managed to speak in any kind of way directly to the Foreign Secretary of this country?
Yeah, thank you. And thank you very much for this possibility. I want to thank you and Times Radio for this, and it is important.
So she said at the beginning that the UK would be open to the idea of a tribunal. Were you surprised that she said that?
I am very much satisfied with this because the UK will be a key partner here. And I hope that there will be a number of countries, because members of the Council of Europe is 46 countries after Russia is kicked off from there. So I hope that dozens of countries will join this tribunal. And that is very important not only for Ukraine, but for future. Anybody who wants to commit such awful crimes should know that they will be taken to responsibility, including leadership, not just soldiers who were raping and killing, but including leadership and the highest ranked leadership, including Putin himself.
Alex, I just wanted to ask you just a kind of personal question, if you don't mind. I mean, we see you on social media all the time. You know, you the one that I'll never forget is when you were standing in front of a burnt out car, and there was a burnt out body falling out of the car, and you were standing in front of it and saying, you know, this is horrible, but we have to see this. We cannot look away. And this has been very much, you know, what you and other MPs and other Ukrainians have been doing. But, you know, this is, you probably don't want to talk about this, but, you know, this you must be going through some trauma as well for your country and for what you've seen. You're in the UK just now. Is this a kind of welcome respite for you to be away from the noise and the constant difficulties of war? Or are you sitting here right now thinking, I want to be back there, I want to be back there?
First of all, I was coming to you and was thinking, I need to take time to get through checkpoints. God. And then I understood, no, it's London. And that's true. We all are traumatized, but we will definitely win. And yes, this is a historical moment, not only for Ukraine, but for the whole free world. And I'm eager to come back as soon as possible. I'm tomorrow coming back home because I feel that I'm needed there. Like it was needed what I do here during last several days. But yes, my heart, my soul, and millions of people all around the planet are in Ukraine, and we should win.
Oleksiy, thank you very much for coming in. That's Oleksiy Goncharenko. He's a Ukrainian MP. You can follow him on Twitter.